So we'll get started. So thank you for coming on, Angel. For people that don't know, this is my buddy Angel. We met at church actually. And go ahead and give us a brief rundown of who you are, what you do, and what you're about. A little bit, a brief history of yourself.
Well, okay, my name's Angel. I'm an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
I right now doing a little bit of I'm doing a lot. I'm trying to find a higher spiritual connection with my higher power and with God and with people in the community. Just really voicing about how trying to get the message to people to know how great we are and to have them understand that trying to get them to understand that in these days and times, a lot of people are not feeling so good, and a lot of people are not feeling so great. Mm-hmm. When we are when initially we are great, we are great as people, and we should stand by that and help one another, not shun each other through hard times and difficulties, and really love one another, because we need more love here. We need more people who care. We need more leaders, and we need more people to be understand, to raise their enlightenment. So that's what I'm really going around doing for the last few years, just letting people know how great they are and how great there's always room for improvement. We're not perfect, but there is room for improvement everywhere, and really trying to fix and promote some of the fractures in the system and the economy that ends up being a big problem when ignored. And some of the things that we feel like we can't do, we can do. And as long as we work together, we can overcome anything.
Amen. Amen. I'm a big believer in positivity. As Chantal knows, I'm super optimistic. I don't know why, I can't help it, but I just feel like the grass is always like green. Like, I don't know. Like if they say the grass is green on the other side, I'm like, my grass is green though. So that's something really big that I'm a big believer in, and I do think we need more people like that. Because we hear like a lot of the negativity and the shouting of everything's bad, and we've seen so much on the news and everywhere that things are just horrible all the time, 24/7. But when you look at your everyday life, not things are just 24/7 bad all the time, every single moment. So I think it is good that we have more people that are shouting out more positivity and more optimism when we're in a sea of negativity and just cynicism. I think that's how you say it. So yeah. But I want to do a quick little icebreaker question. So this is from this pod deck that I just purchased, but I want to ask you, would you rather wear adult diapers for the rest of your life or never wear underwear again?
Never wear underwear.
You gonna be free balling it?
Yes, yeah, it's gonna get
hot. It's so hot.
Gosh, what about all the chafing? Oh my! Imagine your legs would be chafed, like, bruh. I don't know. Because if you never wear underwear, you're gonna have chafing for sure during the summertime. Definitely. Imagine like jeans rubbing against you, like your legs and stuff. It's just not comfortable. But adult diaper, you can use the bathroom and keep going. Like, you never have to worry about an accident.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
I'm just saying, like, well, Chantal, what about you? What about you, Chantal?
That's nasty. I would probably choose the adult diaper.
Okay, really?
I would. That's pretty easy, actually. I don't even have no reservations about going back.
Over no underwear?
Yes. Over yes, absolutely.
All right,
like that would be really that's complicated, man. No underwear
ever, like for the rest of your natural born life, everywhere you go, no underwear.
I mean, I don't have to use the adult diaper just because I'm wearing it.
That's true, but I mean, it's gonna be kind of uncomfortable after sitting down for like 8 hours on a diaper, sweat and just,
maybe give you a little extra cushion, and they're absorbent, so it wouldn't be super sweaty. It should stay dry.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Exactly.
That's a really good point.
Exactly.
Okay. Next question. Would you rather abolish war or find a cure for every type of cancer? That's deep. So abolish war or find a cure for every single cancer.
I'm gonna go with abolish war.
Mm-hmm.
Because with abolishing war, they'll, in my opinion, would free. There's so much money that goes into war. We could use that money into thrusting us into an evolutionary direction to find those cures with the money that we use for war.
That's true.
Trillions of dollars, and we can. To make things to evolve, we would have to abolish war on at least on a grand scale and promote and use that money into a different direction. That would be my thing.
Okay. I'm torn because I kind of lean with that abolish the war, but then I'm thinking like, okay, so what happens if someone doesn't agree to abolish war? Like, because like the thing is, we're very comfortable in America because we're so strong in America, like because our military is so crazy that like no one really wants to mess with America but I don't know. I probably lean more towards the cure for cancer. That's me, just because I feel like, I think battle is necessary for human evolution, like the strongest of the fittest type of thing. And not that I want war, but also I feel like it's going to weed out a lot of stuff. And to be honest, like what does my pastor say? If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. So like at the end of the day, like strongest, survival of the fittest, like I'm not going to lose. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. But I'll probably say cure for cancer.
You also, if you abolish, if you get the cure for cancer and at an older age, you have to get old eventually. Mm-hmm. If everything deteriorates with time.
Yeah.
And once it deteriorates with time, you're still going to have pain and suffering because of war. So you're trying to eradicate the least amount. We're trying to get to where we're trying to get with the least amount of suffering. We're trying to get to the highest point of enlightenment with the least amount of suffering, right? To evolve. Okay. And to eradicate war would be the least amount of suffering. Because most of the world is in chaos. Most of the war is starving. I mean, the world is starving. Most of the world is at war with each other because of neighbors. The reason America's not at war with each other because our neighbors, because Mexico, Canada, and then we have oceans on either side. And who is a power front who will actually even match us or come? Mexico? Come on. Okay. Not even. Yeah. We won that war a long time ago, Yeah. And Canada, Canada, from my impression, don't quote me, but from my understanding, Canada is like, man, we have to be neighbors with these people. Like
like, let me not stir the pot. Let's not stir the pot with them.
I've never been to Canada, but I heard it's a beautiful place. I love it.
Canada is just more evolved than we are on every level. Canada is just a more evolved nation.
Well, Canada has like free healthcare and like they don't lock their doors at night and stuff.
They're much more evolved than we are as far as the healthcare is concerned, their crime rates, all of that stuff. So they're more evolved than we are, probably because they don't put as much emphasis on capitalism as we do. This is what I will say. I would rather cure cancer.
Okay.
I would rather cure cancer.
Okay.
Because who's to say, right? And this is kind of to Anthony's point a little bit, what I think you were getting at, but didn't really say, was that just because, like, to abolish war, right? Then that means, I think that what that really means is, like, if you're abolishing war, you're not necessarily abolishing conflict, right? Because conflict is natural and conflict is always going to exist, right? So I don't think abolishing war is the same thing as abolishing conflict. I think what happens is you lose your way to express that conflict. Does that make sense? So I think that if you abolish war, then what will happen is we will find other ways to essentially fight our battles. Does that make sense? Or to resolve our conflict?
So I guess this is like very smaller scale, but it's kind of like, you know, if you can't like fight somebody because it's illegal, so you'll be like passive aggressive to them.
Yep.
Because is that kind of what you mean, like that? And like
exactly.
In a smaller
It's not
scale,
even passive aggressive, but like I think we would see a lot more like people would still die, right? Like we would see like a movement in our spy organizations taking up a tick. You know what I mean? We would see that type of stuff happen. I don't necessarily think that conflict would go away, right? With war going away.
Well, Angel, how do you feel about conflict in general? Like, what is your stand? Because I'm more of a person, like, I tend to shy away from conflict. I think that's the way I was raised. I don't like conflict. I've never, if I have to, I will, but I don't, like, you know, sometimes I'll try to avoid it as much as I can until I have to. But what is your take for you in conflict? Is it something that you're comfortable with, or like, do you shy away, or what is it for you?
Coming from a past of very seeing conflict, being part of conflict, having environment where things are very combative, it's no one wins. No one wins, and it's very primitive. And you go back still when you cause so much destruction, you go back and still empower you empower you empower those who are not part of conflict, who cause the conflict a lot of times. Okay. Because they don't.
Are you saying like? Or you mean like mm-hmm. Are you saying like conflict will beget more conflict in so many ways, or what do you mean?
Yes, it will continue. Yes, it never stops. It doesn't. It never stops if someone doesn't stop it. If someone doesn't like decide to be like have a higher way of it's so primitive. It's really primitive conflict when you can not. Most things could be discussed. There can be a conflict and indifference, but when you start dropping bombs and have war, then nothing gets resolved. No one wins. There's no resources there's no saving. There's no productivity. There's no talking after when there is war. There's like, hey, this is the way it's going to be. There's no other way. So there's havoc, chaos, destruction, and we still have to recover from that. And then from all of that, there's a lot of misplace. There's mistrust. There's trauma. There's such a bounce back from things and I totally understand conflict. Trust me. But sometimes you have to stand and be like to the very end and to say, okay, for instance, all the people who stood for most of the peace in the strongest ways are still remembered today. Martin Luther King, very great example. And I'm not saying we're not fighting that war today still, because we totally are. But who made the biggest difference in that? Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, some of the most greatest entities, John F. Kennedy, some of the most greatest entities who have stood for something very great, stood for non-conflict, and they stood for it, and they made a bigger impact because they dropped the bomb of love, not of destruction and hate. They continue to want peace. They continue to throw their hands up and say, look, we could do this in a more spiritual sense, in a better loving way. And if you want conflict, there's other people who will give you conflict. In America, I believe, this is my true feelings, and I only can speak for myself, as being the forefronts and the elite in the world, we should stand by that. We should go and try we go out there constantly and help, but also we do a lot of destruction, and we do act like bullies, and and I understand why, and I understand. Do I agree with some things? Do I know, or do I believe there's other ways of fixing certain things? Totally. Like little. For instance, when I was talking about small lies and small fractures end up being big problems, we have to acknowledge those things and take them out of the system openly, since so many people are more aware of it, if you would say, as in Christopher Columbus founded. A lot of people are grown adults, 25, 30, really have the prestige understanding that Christopher Columbus did not find America, that there was civilization here already. And to take that after living 30 years and and it hits you like a Mack truck. You know, I was in a circle one day and we were talking about it, and there was a guy who never even knew. He's like, oh, and there's another person like, oh, just last year I found he was 25. And so you have to remember it's hard to erase all of that. And then it's mind-boggling to be like, wow, that was a lie. We understand that conquering and destruction and war happens.
Yeah, it does work. I mean, it works. Yeah.
We have to learn from it. You know, because if we don't, history is destined to repeat itself, and we won't get to that level in enlightenment, and we'll have to slide back.
Let me just say this. Hold on, Angel. I don't want to cut you off, but I think we're kind of getting a little bit murky, because conflict. We have to understand that there's a difference between conflict and the way that we deal with our conflict, right? Conflict is just a disagreement with somebody, right? Like, I don't agree with the way that you go about doing things. When we start talking about the ramifications of conflict, that's when we get into war and killing people and all of that stuff, right? So there's nothing wrong with conflict, right? Like, you know, I eat Cheerios, Anthony doesn't eat Cheerios. Anthony's like, I don't think you should eat Cheerios in the morning. That's a conflict, okay? Right? Like, that's a conflict. Seriously,
I like Cheerios.
right?
I like Cheerios, everybody.
But if Anthony decides to bust me upside my head because I eat Cheerios and he doesn't, like, that's totally different, right? You took the conflict. You took
to a whole nother level.
And then, exactly. You elevated it, right? And that's kind of what you're getting into a little bit, Angel, which is the way that we exercise and deal with our conflict is very, very unhealthy. But it's conflict itself, the disagreement part of it. That's not unhealthy, is it?
I think conflict is healthy. Like, going back to this point, I think conflict is healthy. Like, I still don't like conflict, even though I understand that there's times where you need to have a disagreement and you need to discuss it, and I'm still very uncomfortable just discussing conflict, because the way I was raised, always conflict went back to like physical altercations. So in my head, I'm like, I don't even want to have conflict because it's going to lead to X, Y, and Z. So, but I do agree that the way we handle conflict, it's kind of like, you know, you hit me, I hit you type of thing. But and I do agree that, you know, we should lead more in compassion and love. But I only have a certain amount of tolerance for someone doing something to me before I'm going to go the way I need to go. I'm not saying that's not my first reaction, but, you know, if someone does something to you, you know, discuss it and put the boundary. Now, if it happens again, you know, you're not going to get the whole, you know, love and peace, Anthony. You might get the 2-piece and the, you know, biscuit, Anthony. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me though. Like, you know. So,
but don't you feel like the majority of conflict comes from people that are already in your circle, right? Like people that you really fuck with, for lack of a better word, right? Like your homies.
Well,
and then when it arises there, like, is that still the same like protocol, course of action? Because I think that's more likely the where the conflict is coming from, right?
Well, I think it would depend on your relationship, because like, for example, I can go to a buddy, and if we have a relationship of like, we've always talked straight to each other, I know that your intentions aren't trying to hurt me but make me better, then whatever you say, I'm not going to take it as a attack necessarily. Now, if I don't know you and you're saying the same thing that my buddy was saying, but I don't even know you, I don't know how to take what you're saying. So I'm going to assume, like, you know, if I'm feeling a certain way, either I'm going to clarify, hey, what did you mean by this? But in all reality, most people don't clarify. They tend to be like, you meant this because I took it like this. And so I'm going to react and respond based on my interpretation of what you said and what I think it meant. So that's where the problem comes in, is like the interpretation of the conflict could be the issue. Is if someone comes to me and said, hey, your breath stinks, am I going to be like, hey, square up? You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to be like, oh, does my breath stink? Like, you can handle it both ways easily. You can be like, why is he disrespecting me? And I'm going to, you want my breath stink? Let me show you what's up. Or I can be like, oh, dang, does my breath stink? Hold on. Let me go, But it just depends on the mental state, the interpretation, and where you are at in life. Some days I might take my breath stink and I was like, hey, you want to get down? And the other day I might take it as, oh, my bad, let me brush my teeth. It just depends,
I have a totally different take, like a totally different take.
Okay. Let's
from both of you guys. It's interesting because I'm listening to you guys and I'm like, dang, maybe I'm wrong. Right? Maybe there's something wrong with me. But in general, from my experience, typically conflict comes from the people that are the closest to you, right? Whether that's physically or whatever it is, but the people who are around you the most, I'll say, and the relationship, just because they're around you the most doesn't mean that you guys necessarily have like that A1 type of relationship, but with people that are around you the most. And typically what I've learned is that conflict is a result of a misunderstanding. You know what I mean? It's usually because somebody thought that when I said this, I meant this, right? Or somebody thought that because I didn't say this, I meant this, right? So in that instance, people really shy away from conflict, but I'm the opposite of that because I really want to get into it. I want to know, you know what I mean? Like I really want to know. And this is not so that, we could fight or anything like that because I'm not a fighter, but it's simply because like I need to know how you got here. You understand what I'm saying? How I got here, what it is that we missed each other saying. So in that instance, I'll dive right in, especially if it's a communication error that caused the conflict. Then I'm one to dive right in. And to your point, everybody is the exact opposite of that. Everybody will like literally shy away or remove themselves completely from the relationship, from the space.
Well, not that part,
right? Without even saying anything about it, and the other person is just like,
what?
You know what I'm saying? Like, like if you think about some of the dope friendships that you had and that you maybe not had no more, it's literally because like, well, I don't know, one day we literally just stopped talking to each other. You understand what I'm saying? And like nobody went back to be like, yo, bro, like when you said, I thought we was, and then
all of a sudden we just don't talk no more.
All of a sudden we was real tight, and now all of a sudden we not tight no more. So I don't understand what happened, right? And I'm the person who wants to dive into it. I want to talk about it ad nauseum. I want to do this, and
God.
You know what I mean, and set up a plan to move forward. That's me when it's a conflict that started out of a miscommunication error.
You know what that reminded me of for some reason? It reminded me of I don't know if you guys have ever been ghosted. I've been ghosted before, and I feel like that's the same kind of thing. Like whatever the issue was, I don't know, but it was just like no.
What it was.
I don't get me wrong. I've ghosted people too before. I'm guilty of it. Angel, have you ever ghosted anybody or been ghosted before? Don't lie.
Yeah, I think everybody has.
Everybody has.
You done it? Yeah.
It's part of life. People are always growing. To grow, we're always constantly growing. We're always moving. And it's if someone's not moving in my direction and trying to have communicate, because communication is always going to lead to trying to resolve or understand.
Yeah.
But if you immediately put a wall or ghost somebody without trying, then you're not gonna you're not gonna even. I'd rather walk away. If someone stonewalls me without trying to, and when I'm trying to communicate with them, then I understand. I read this I was told by a great person, if a person cannot see multiple perspectives, they're not talking to you. And I believe, in my opinion, the greatest people and the greatest minds, as she stated, like you have to communicate to try to find a resolution, to see multiple perspectives, because you're already opening the door. But if you don't even want to open the door to try to communicate, then I don't believe that in my opinion, that you're going to you're not of a higher, trying to reach a higher way of thinking.
I can agree with that, with the perspective part, because I do, in my personal opinion, I think a lot of wisdom comes from, it comes from action and experience, but also if you're open-minded to other perspectives and possibilities and different ways of looking at a situation, I think it gives you a better grasp in general of life. Just to not think that just the way you look at it is the way, but, I can look at it as A, B, C, D, or E, and then consider which outcome could be best for me. Because I do see that a lot of times, and I do agree that it may not be ghosting necessarily, but sometimes if you talk to somebody and you realize they're not in the mental state that you're in, and they're not even trying to get there, they're not even trying to consider the possibility of what you have to say. Yeah, I think there's a time, when it's like there's nothing else to say. But also, that also brings me to another point would be, is it that they're not open, or that I don't know how to communicate what I'm saying to them to get them to be open?
Both.
So it could be a two-way street. Either I'm communicating in a way that makes it seem like the way I'm talking about it is right, and they're blocked off, or can I communicate that same message in a way that's going to open them up to consider the idea? Because when you try to tell someone to do something, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to do it. You tell them that you should be doing this. No, they're going to be like, oh, you should be. Most people don't like to be told what to do, even though to some degree they like to be told what to do, but they don't like to be told per se. So the question is, are you good at opening somebody up for the ability to give them the idea?
I mean, I think Angel brings up a good point. Like, maybe, right? Like, maybe that's possible, but for the most part, a lot of this stuff is really going to come down to perspective, right? Like, I can't change your perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I may be willing to, engage in this great dialogue to really get to the root of what happened, you can't change somebody's perspective. If they're dead set, right, and seeing you a specific way, ain't two shits, excuse my language, to say about it to get them to not see you in that way. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's very easy for people to kind of put you in the prison of their expectations. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, this is the way that I see you, and this is the only way or the only thing that you can be to me, right? So what do I look like breaking down their prison? You know what I'm saying? Of how they see me. Like, that's not my job, right? So if that's how if you're dead set on seeing me that way, then that means you're going to be dead set in misunderstanding me, right? Because you see me a certain way. So there's no way that you could really understand me. And we're always going to have miscommunication errors. And it's always going to lead to conflict. In that instance, you just got to balance. You have to balance, because people love doing that. I see you this way, so this is who you are, period.
And I noticed that comes more, at least from my personal perspective, it comes more from people that you've known for a long period of time. They get so stuck in the way that you used to be or were when they knew you, that they're so attached to not letting you go and like grow into a new space, that they're like, oh, you change. And it's like, I mean, aren't we supposed to change? Like, you know what I mean? Like, aren't we supposed to grow? So yeah, I noticed that happens a lot of people, like family members or like people you've known for like a good amount of time. It's not that their intentions are bad, that they don't want you to change like that, but they have expectation of who you should be from how they know you. And I think that's where the problem lies, is like, expectations of people and not allowing people just to be people and have a different opinion. I may say I hate pepperoni today, and tomorrow I may love it. Who knows? But, don't hold me to the fact that I just changed my mind, but a lot of times people do that. Let's switch gears a little bit, because I have one more question. Would you rather question? I think this might be a little light. So this one says, would you rather have your most embarrassing photos posted on Facebook, or accidentally fall in public and the video goes viral? Chantal, go first. Angel, go second.
So look,
Chantal.
So I would rather fall in public and have it go viral.
Okay.
Like, I would literally rather fall in public and have it go viral, because then like, imagine how much we can elevate Unpack Your Bag, right? If I'm the co-host who just fell and busted my butt.
Chantal, please go eat shit right now. Just go eat shit.
If I just busted my butt, right? And then that could always be the thing, right? And then I don't take myself too seriously, so I can always laugh and make a joke about it. But I want something to go viral for sure.
Okay.
So rewind that tape.
Yeah.
We could rewind. I'm gonna go with Chantal on this one too.
Okay.
We can rewind the tape, and I'll laugh at myself, like, you know.
Yeah.
I think that the video, I'll always just be, or the picture, I'll always be sort of like embarrassed or something. Or, but the fun in public, I'll laugh at myself.
That can't be no worse than a girl who put Gorilla Glue on her edges, right?
Oh,
like, it can't be worse than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can't be worse than that. It literally can't be worse than that.
You know, she had like a hair care line now and stuff. Like, it's like,
that's what I'm saying. There's no such thing as bad publicity. Maybe I could like come out with like my own line of like knee pads or something. Like,
don't fall like I did. Here's your knee pads. Save your knees.
You know what I'm saying? So much stuff that could come out of this.
Any sponsors out there, knee pad sponsors, we got somebody. All right, we got the candidate right here. All right.
Exactly.
You know, I'm gonna go ahead and take the 3-way on this one and agree, because I was thinking, and even though I don't have a following on Facebook, you know, I don't want the most embarrassing photos, because there's some embarrassing photos of me probably somewhere in the world or somewhere. I don't want those to come up. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fall, because I laugh people falling anyways. So I mean, I'm like, shoot, whatever, you know. I'll take it. Plus, we'll go viral.
Skateboard, so it's probably more stuff of you falling anyway.
I fall all the time. Like I don't fall outside of skateboarding. I will say this: rarely have I fallen, except for one time. Okay, let me tell you this quick story real quick, because it's kind of funny. It goes along with falling. All right, so I don't even remember what my wife Angel. So I got these gifts, these little African statues, like these little animals. Like there's a giraffe, lion, all this stuff, like little wooden like figurine things. They're nice. They're expensive pieces. I got them from one of buddies of mine. His family's really rich, and they were giving away all this stuff. So I gave me. I'm like, sure, no problem. Brought him in the house, and my wife is like, where'd you get those from? And I'm like, I don't know, they're from Africa or something, you know, these little figurines. She's like, oh, that's voodoo. Oh, take it out the house. No, it's voodoo. That's some voodoo. Don't put it in the house. This is like where I'm in my baby walk of Christianity, you know? So I'm like, no, what are you talking about?
Wait, hold on. The African statues were voodoo?
That's she said they were voodoo. I'm like, she's like, you don't know if they put a curse on those to put things in your house? And I'm like, you are tripping. Like, I'm like, yo, you
know, on the animals?
Yes. I'm like, you tripping. I'm like, you tripping, bro. You tripping. Anyways.
Lord.
So like a month passes, right? And we had went to church, and pastor was like, we was on a Tuesday night. He was talking about how like things enter into your home and into your life, and people will put curses on things, like even the candles and stuff with a picture on it. They'll put curses and demons onto like figurines, and when you put them into your house, it opens a portal for you to come, like things to come in. So I was like, oh shoot. So I'm over here like, okay, like maybe she was right, you know, I don't know. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just, you know, maybe she was right. I'm going to take these things. I'm going to take them, put them in a box. I'm throwing them out in the garbage. All right. I'm going to do it, whatever. So I pack up all the boxes, pack up everything in the stuff. And I have like, I'm on a 2-story, like I'm on the 2nd story. So like the way the stairs, like comes around like 5 stairs, and then it comes back around these. And I've never,
Jumanji.
Huh?
I'm thinking Jumanji.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm holding the box, and mind you, I'm very balanced. I skate on handrails, which I grind down rails going downstairs and balance. I've done this for years, and I'm walking down, and I had this weird feeling, like I don't know, like it was just a weird feeling, like something was kind of hold me from like throwing these things away, and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do it. And all of a sudden I step down the stairs, and then my ankle just folds over, and then I fall and spill. Everything comes tumbling down. I roll my ankle, and I'm like, hold up. Michaela comes out, and she sees me. She's like, I told your ass. I told you. Anyway, see what happened? You would never hurt your leg. You would never hurt your leg if you wouldn't have the thing in the house. And I'm like, you know what? I was so mad, but moral story is, I think they were cursed, because I never got hurt until I tried to move them away. And I've never fallen downstairs like that. I've never rolled my ankle. I never misstepped like that. Nada. So I think maybe there's some truth to that. So just be careful what you do bring in your house, everybody. Just want to let you know that part. So that was my story time. So don't bring figurines in your house that you don't know if they're cursed or not. All right.
But like literally, so look, I don't want to push back, right? Because
okay.
I'm a Christian. I've been a Christian my whole life.
Please do.
Right. But I'm not like the super spooky version. But this is but like, doesn't that go for like furniture? Like, how do you buy furniture? Right? Because technically somebody could put a curse on anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's outside of your control, right? What you control is your spirit, man, and your prayed upness. You know what I'm saying? True. And if you're prayed up, right? So you don't have a frame of reference for what somebody does outside of your home. You know what I'm saying? And if you buy something, right, your intention is because, I think this will be a good gift, right? Like, we're talking about a God who judges and honors our heart, right? Mm-hmm. And then, you know what I'm saying? If you stay prayed up, if you stay where, spiritually in line to where you need to be, you don't think God would be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think that something would happen to where God is like, in your spirit, man, discerning, like, have you noticed this happened since this? You know what I mean? Or since you've been watching this, since you've been doing it. You understand what I'm saying? So I think things more so work out like that, as opposed to like, just a random figurine being the devil. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
because we wouldn't buy nothing. Like, think about that for a second. We wouldn't buy anything.
I agree. I was that same way before, up until that moment when this happened, and then my life changed. Okay,
and now you believe that. Now you don't, and now Anthony will never buy another figurine.
No, it's not. I'm still not okay. I'm not that skeptical. I still like those things. Was maybe one. It could have been a fluke, But honestly, to be honest,
it was probably a fluke.
I don't ever do that. And I walk these stairs so many times. Like, I've been there for a year before this happened. How do I misstep on this particular day at this particular time? Like, that's just crazy. But I don't know. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Maybe it could be articles. Go ahead.
You have to get empowered. You have to also empower things to enter. It might be cursed, that specific, but also that's not gonna. The spirit is strong. There's everything holds spirit and energy. Yeah. Everything holds energy. And a curse is just somebody putting a different energy on that object, or a person per se. When you can cleanse the object. Mm-hmm. But also, you have to also give it the will and the power to affect your life, in a sense.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
If you would have, as soon as you turn around and you're like, the mind is strong, the spirit is strong. That's why the God says, He says, like, the words are alive. You always hear that. And who is to say that your wife saying that's voodoo automatically gave it a different type of energy? And that went ahead and made it more than it just being what it is, a figure that represents Africa, the free land of greenery and things that are not everything. And this is I like how we're discussing this, because we have our own perspective of seeing these figures, But
that's deep. Maybe it wasn't the figures. Maybe Michaela's words opened up the portal.
Maybe they could have been cursed, but they were dormant until someone believed in it.
What the heck?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you mean? What the heck?
Nothing.
No, you know what? No, but you see what I'm saying? Like maybe someone did try to curse him, and there's no effect. But then once you start believing that it's really real,
who you are, right?
Yeah. But then when you believe it to be true, then it opens up. Like, it's like your mind will attract the things that it believes in. So if you believe you're a slouch, then you will constantly be reminded of ways you're a slouch. If you think you're great, you'll be reminded of things on how you're great. So that could be true. But I'm also I can't let that be said for my wife. I can't let it be said. Didn't have.
Okay. First of all, let me say, your wife put a love potion on you. Okay. She's a Buddhist. Put a love spell on you. Oh gosh. Right? That's her husband. Second,
can represent.
Second, you gave her the power. You guys both opened that portal together, because as soon as she said, okay, when people are like panic, and then someone else panic, then you have a stampede, That's what happened. She's like, it's voodoo, and you're like, no, it's not. And she's like, no, it's voodoo. I'm like, it's voodoo.
Yeah. What?
You know,
yeah.
You get the power to actually hold that, form itself into that energy of it occurring to, you know. And has it happened since after that?
Well, I don't have any statues, so I can tell you, to be honest. Like, now we live together.
They'll never buy another statue again, Angel.
Don't.
Look. I will say this. I was in disagreement with her completely, and you know.
And he fell down the stairs.
No.
And he was like,
once my pastor confirmed what she said, and I'm like, oh, like maybe I've been tripping. Maybe it was me. And once I thought of it, okay, it could be possible, is when stuff happened. But I'm gonna go back to how it was before. Like, ain't that shit don't exist. I don't care what you try.
And here's the thing: it's not that it doesn't exist. It's just that who you are in the spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't let nothing
God is stronger than all of that other stuff.
Yeah,
you can't. You make things come to pass sometimes on yourself.
Yeah.
Persistence. Like, when people say you continuously do something, you feel like you're saying yourself. You make things. You say you're great. You're gonna feel great. You're gonna be great. If you call yourself a loser all the time and this and that, you're not gonna be successful. You're not gonna feel. You're gonna feel like a loser. You're gonna be trying to. At everybody, so you made. I think, in my opinion, with those figures, you guys made it come to pass.
I think there's probably some truth. I think there's some truth in that.
I think
yeah, because I'm in agreement with that too. I think and it's not just about what only you speak. It's like the belief in what you speak. Because like you can lie to yourself and say something, but the reality is deep down you really know like I'm a piece of shit. And even though you say like you wake in the mirror, I'm a king, and then you go, but you're deep down you're like I feel like shit. You know, that the belief in really what you say is really, I think that's where the power is. It's just the belief in the things that you say out loud and to yourself are the real what happens. So, you know, if I did believe that maybe these are cursed, and then it kind of things started going a little haywire. And
it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, so I that's a good point, Angel. That's a very good point. Yeah, I like it. We got to wrap up in a minute, but I do have one more question that I want. It's another random question, but these are kind of fun. I've been actually liking these. So this is the last one. We got to wrap up. Okay. So would you rather have to grow, hunt, and kill your own food, or only eat Taco Bell for one whole year?
That's disgusting. That is disgusting. Grow, hunt, and kill.
Grow, hunt, and kill? Okay, so
for a whole year and constant diarrhea.
Right.
Hey, okay, wait, hold on. You got to consider this. Okay, just consider. just hear me out. We all live in this city. Okay, that means you have to grow from this day forward. I mean, if you have no food growing in your house right now, you got to start growing somewhere. Okay, that's gonna take some weeks to months to grow anything. You got to go find food, which we only have like desert. Like out here, we have snakes and rabbits and coyotes and crap. So and you got to kill it. So if you
hunt and kill.
If you ain't got nothing within the first day, you're already gonna be starving. You could go you can go 30 days technically without eating, but the energy level. So me, I'm gonna go Taco Bell, and I'll just take my Hershey squirts, diarrhea, whatever. I'll deal.
I'm gonna go grow, hunt, and kill 100%.
I'll take my Hershey squirts any day of the week. I'm not trying to go out there and work that hard. First of all, it's 100 and some degrees. I was like, you gonna be out there hunting?
Gross.
You ain't gonna be out there, Chantal. We all of us aren't gonna be out there hunting. Damn well, none of us gonna be out there hunting.
You have to put it in context. We live in the Antelope Valley. There's nothing to hunt but coyote, right? And I don't eat coyote meat, right? So you have to put it in context, meaning like you would have to have the animals, right? That's what I'm thinking. Like you got to go get a chicken and a cow, you know what I'm saying, and do it that way. And like straight up, this has been a lifestyle that I've considered for a long time. I know I got a friend who raises pigs, and she's like, I could get you bacon, and we slaughter them once every 6 months, and that's enough to sustain our family for this long. And then we also have it to give out. And I was like, bet. And she's like, yes. And she was like, I have a guy who will break it down into bacon and ribs and all of that stuff. And I was like,
So you have no problem.
Let me get in on that.
You have no problem killing your own like animal to eat it, right?
I have to kill it.
Yeah, because it says.
Or does it have to be killed?
It said grow, hunt, and kill.
Maybe not a pig. I'll kill a chicken. I'll kill a chicken because it's smaller.
Okay.
If I could like throw something at it, like a rock at it.
You're a vegetarian.
What if you miss? Like, what if you just hit the side and it broke his wing? Like, that's just even worse. Like, now you got a messed up a chicken. Now you got to go and put it. That's just cold.
And can I raise? And I would also like to raise fish. I will raise catfish.
Okay.
And red snapper. I don't know, but yes, I've thought about going like completely having a farm table lifestyle. Anyway, I'm not eating Taco Bell for a year. I'm not eating no fast food place for a year.
You can fish.
You could, yeah, you could fish.
I could fish. Well, not in the Antelope Valley. I couldn't. I don't know where.
You got to drive somewhere.
Got to drive to Castaic or the Kern County River or something.
Have you guys ever fished? I've never caught a fish. Has anybody caught a fish? Raise your hand if you caught a fish. Damn it, man. I never caught a fish. I've tried like maybe 3 times and nothing happened.
Oh, we're gonna have to go fishing then, Anthony.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm just not patient enough. I don't know. Maybe I put negative energy out there. I don't know.
Ooh, I want to go deep sea fishing.
Oh hell no! Oh, I'm cool.
No, like not like a fishing rig, but like they have like fishing charters that take you in the ocean. I want to do that.
Oh, okay. I
want to do a fishing charter that takes me in the ocean, and I want to catch a tuna.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't know if that's possible, but I just made it up. I was like, I want to catch a tuna fish.
What'd you say, Angel? What'd you say?
I think, man, you know what? I believe in a sense, if you cannot hunt and kill, everything is easy, packaged and nice, and you just throw it to eat. I have 2 perspectives of this part.
Okay.
In a sense, I have, if you cannot kill and go ahead and slice and dice the thing, and you shouldn't be able to eat it in a sense. And then again, I also believe that we were a little bit glutton and so we eat whatever we're given.
Mm-hmm.
Taco Bell. Man. Did you hear about that guy who ate McDonald's for a whole year? How he gained like so much weight?
Oh yeah, and he was like really sick. He was like real sick.
This dude had like diabetes.
Yeah, he did.
He gained like 100 pounds. His eyesight started going out. Like random stuff started happening to this dude.
Yeah, that is true. I forgot about that. Damn. Damn. That is a really hard scenario.
I think I'll go with I think I'll go ahead with hunting because I'll go ahead and I would go fishing. I'll just fish and eat a lot of salads and mostly things like that. And I don't have a problem eating adobo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I've never had it. I probably have. I don't know. Eating restaurants.
All right. So we're gonna ask this question, then we're gonna wrap up, and I'm gonna ask you for one quote that you live by.
Ooh, I just found it. I could go deep sea fishing and catch a tuna.
Hey, tunas are big though.
I know, and I can go deep sea fishing and catch a tuna, and that's what I want to do.
Okay, hey man.
I just looked it up right now because I was like, that sounds fun. It's summertime. Let me figure it out.
Yes.
All right, so last question, and then we're gonna again ask you for your quote to wrap up. So back to this animal thing. If you had to eat your dog who you've had for 12 years, would you do it? I'll go first. If you had your dog for 12 years, you grew up with your dog, whatever, it's your homie, family. And there's no food, and he's there. Are you going to kill him and eat, or not? And I'll go for. Let me go first. I'm gonna set the tone of this one. I have no problem killing my dog and eating him. No problem whatsoever. I've had my dog since she's been a puppy. Her name is Legend. Love her to death. Don't get me wrong. She's been soldier at my mama's house. hold down the fort every day. But in a heartbeat, if I needed to, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna do the rock thing that Chantal said, and girl her up, and that's what I gotta do. I have no hesitation for eating animals. So no friends, that's just me though. It sounds horrible, but I'm not gonna go out and eat dog. But in the event that I had to, yes, I would, no problem. So, you guys, what about you, Angel?
I'll let Chantal go. Go ahead.
No. Absolutely not. No, I'm not eating cocoa. I'm not. I would never.
Hey, Coco,
I'm not.
Coco isn't just gay. Hey, I'm not like Coco. I have to consider Coco's a cute little dog.
Coco.
Like, it's a cute little dog.
Coco.
I was gonna keep Coco. I debated stealing your own dog. I like that dog so much. I want to steal
Coco's kind of annoying, but I'm not eating her.
Was it a little Chihuahua mix? Was it Chihuahua? It's up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
and
funny.
We've had her, and it's technically my brother's dog, but we've had her since she was a little baby puppy, and it's been about 10 years. And I'm not eating my dog. I'm not eating Coco. I can't do it. First of all, she's a Chihuahua, so like, how much meat can you really get off of like a lean Chihuahua?
That's like one. That's like one meal. You go one meal it up.
It's just like really lean dog meat, so it's gonna be disgusting.
The legs are so skinny. Oh, poor Coco.
No, I'm not eating Coco.
Poor Coco.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
All right, Angel, what about you?
Oh man, you know what? Before this conversation, I would have always told you, yeah, it's going. But and then I don't know if you ever seen that movie Pie.
Pie, nah.
Mm-mm.
It's based sort of. I don't know if it's based on a true story. I think it may be. Don't quote me, but it's a guy who gets stuck on a raft because this boat sinks, and it's him and a tiger.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I didn't see it, but I saw the trailer for it. Yeah, it's like the Indian guy. Yeah. And there's like the big old tiger, like this huge tiger, and him on a little boat. Yeah. Okay, for sure. Yeah, I didn't see it, but I know about it.
That's to watch it, man.
Okay.
That's a movie. Check it out if you guys get a chance. I encourage. Awesome movie. I'm gonna go ahead. I have 2 dogs right now, and I love my dogs to death, and I don't think so. I don't think. I don't know. It's one of those situations where you get to there, and then you know what you would do. So I used to be like, heck yeah, slide. But now I'm like, man, if it was the other way around, I wouldn't. If he was like the tiger, and he was like, hey, he had to eat me, I wouldn't want to meet. I would feel very more content if we went out together.
I feel that. I get that. And when you're saying this, it remind me of I Am Legend when he had to was I Am Legend when he had to kill his dog. And
that was so sad.
That honestly, so sad. The only thing that made me cry in movies was The Notebook and that scene in that part, which it was hard to watch. It made me tear up when I seen it. I'm not gonna lie, I had shed a tear. I'm not even gonna lie. That was a hard thing to watch. Every time I see it, I'm probably gonna tear up. But I'm gonna eat. So I feel like your dog wouldn't eat you, but yeah, I don't think your dog would eat you, but I would probably eat my dog.
Yeah,
we'll see. Well, let's hope we don't have to find out. All right, so Angel, before we go, one quote that you live by, or that's something that stands out for you, or something that that holds valuable to you. Give me a quote that really signifies something that means something to you right now, or something that you live by your whole life. Anything.
Treat others the way you want to be treated.
Boom. I like it.
Man.
That is absolutely, absolutely one of the most biggest things that I have. I think that's really I've held on to my whole entire life is treat other people how you want to be treated.
Yeah, I am such a big believer in that. I am such a big believer in that. That's that's me all day. Because it makes sense. Like, hey, if you don't want people doing shitty things to you, don't do shitty things to other people. It's really simple. It makes everything simple, Hey, I would want someone, if I want this done to me, let me give it. So if I want more love in my life, I should give more love. If I want more hate, I should give more hate, Yep. But there's people that do really want the smoke, and just don't come at me. But
I don't want no smoke.
Don't come at me. I'm the guy. But
I'm smokeless.
But Angel, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure having you on, man. This has been a lot of fun. Angel,
it's great talking to you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this, man. You got to come back on.
Most definitely. Enjoyed it. You guys let me know when you guys want me to join again, and I'm here.
Okay, for sure, man. Well, good talking to you, brother. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on another episode on Unpack Your Bag Podcast. You guys already know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment. Give us your thoughts, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to go out here on top. You know what I'm saying? Woo! And yeah, that's it. Let's go.
Hey, if you got a deep sea fishing business, comment in the comments down below because I want to go catch a too. I'm serious about that.
And if you own an e-pack company, hit up Chantal on Instagram. Love her and me. she'll be your viral case.
I'm taking all requests. Help us sister out.
Oh, that's all funny. Right. All right. Well, thanks, Angel, again, man. We'll see you next time. Thank you, guys. Peace, love, and hair grease. See you soon.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Much love.
All right.